Leagues Cup is kicking off this Tuesday, 6 games starting at 7 Eastern. With that, we bring in Cesar Hernandez to break it all down. Cesar, before we get into it, though, we know the Leagues Cup is in its 3rd edition and it comes with some format changes, again, trying to adapt to see what works best. So we're going to go through it here a little bit, why it's going to look a little bit different than what we saw, at least from last year, because it was limited to 18 MLS teams last season. It was top 9 from each conference to match now the 18 Liga MX teams. It's divided into 2 groups by league. Each team plays 3 games against teams from opposite leagues in phase 1. Now, top 4 teams from each group advance to quarterfinals. All quarterfinal matchups will be MLS versus Liga MX teams. So the mission is clear. But Cesar, I'll start with you. What's been the buzz around this year's edition?
Well, I think the buzz, right there, we saw that there's a lot to take in, right? I love Liga MX and MLS matchups, but it does feel a little contrived. It does feel a little forced a bit when you see some of those matchups. Frankly, I'm sure there are plenty of fans out there thinking, wait, there's 2 tables, there's 1 MLS, there's 1 Liga MX, and 4 teams go through. But it's going to be interesting to see what that buzz is, because I'll be real. It feels like a quick turnaround, and my mind is still thinking about the All-Star game that you guys were just talking about. My mind is still thinking about the start of the Liga MX season. My mind is still kind of thinking about the Gold Cup didn't end too long ago. I think the buzz will be there. I think the buzz will eventually gain traction. But man, it's a quick turnaround that we're having in the North American soccer world. But nonetheless, I'll be keeping a close eye, and I still love all those matchups.
Quick turnaround, Herc?
Yeah, we talk about buzz. Listen, I work in Monday to Friday, Auto Nunca. We cover all sports in Spanish, and a big chunk of what we cover is Mexican football. And the buzz is como incomoda, how this gets in the way of the Mexican regular season, how they'd rather not do it. At least that's the buzz on the networks that I've seen. This network, other networks, the main network that does the majority of the games for Liga MX is they would rather not have this, but they have to do this. And then I look at the format, and I've heard very little buzz on this side about it. It's not like I'm walking the streets here in Connecticut and I'm hearing, whoa, Leagues Cup's coming up. You gonna go to the game?
What do you mean?
You gonna go to the game? I look at how this is formatted, and it seems very chaotic. It seems very chaotic. You have to absolutely win, because if you lose 1 game, you're out. It's the top 4 of 18 teams in MLS, top 4 of 18 teams in Liga MX, and it's going to come down to goal differential to decide who goes through on those top 4, and then they do a knockout phase. It's very chaotic. I'm having a hard time kind of thinking 1 game you're out, and who that 1 game is, and how that 1 game was drawn. It seems like more of the usual that we get from CONCACAF, where it's I put this team on this side and I put this team on that side, and I design it so they meet in the final. And what's worse here is there are actual CONCACAF Champions Cup spots up for grabs. There are 3 of them. There are 3 direct spots up for grabs, and 2 of those teams will meet at a different phase. There's a massive advantage here that CONCACAF just said, yeah, we'll give it to you for a tournament that's made up and handpicked and tailor-made to shove down your throat. So buzz, not too much. Chaos, a lot. Am I interested to see what happens? Yeah, but I don't think it's very fair.
Kasey, with the chaos that Herculez mentioned, do you have any ideas as to how the format would be a little bit better?
To me, what I would love to see the format be, if you're going to do this combination between leagues, right? If you want to kind of take advantage of the proximity and the relationships between the 2 leagues, I would just like to see something really simple. Have the Apertura, the Clausura champions play against the MLS Cup champion and the Supporter Shield champion, and have them kind of have a little competition between each other, but it has to be home and away. You have to have matches in Mexico. You have to have matches in the U.S. so it's on even playing field. And then you can have it at times when it isn't so massively disruptive to both leagues, because every fan will tell you the league is the most important thing for their team. You have to win if you can throw in a cup competition, a international competition, brilliant. but not at the expense of winning your league. That is first and foremost. And I feel like with this competition, you do, and Herc mentioned it, you kind of devalue the league, and I'm not a fan of that. I love the idea of maybe seeing that rivalry between the teams that have won something, but then just throwing everybody out there and saying, play these games. You're not playing in Mexico, you're playing here. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Then what will we do with Campeones Cup? And listen, Cesar mentioned this. It just feels like we just got done with something, right? And it just feels like...
And he didn't mention Club World Cup, by the way.
With Club World Cup as well. And it just feels like, wait a second, maybe Messi's right. You know, like, he's sitting here saying, I'm tired, and we're sitting here talking about more games to
now
be
we're
played.
extremely upset. Cesar, you had some ideas too, right, about the format?
Well, I think it's a simple one, right? Why not have some games in Mexico? The issue with that, though, is, you've talked to people, involved in Leagues Cup, and the way that it was told to me in the past, they said that the idea was to cater to Liga MX fans, Mexican soccer fans in the U.S. I think we could all understand why they'd want to do that. I think there's a number of tickets that you can sell out here in the U.S. and MLS and in Canada as well. There's a number of fans who are willing to do that. And listen, I'm here sitting in San Diego. I'm going to go to a game tomorrow between San Diego FC and Pachuca, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of fans. And that's convenient for me. That's awesome. That's great. But what about those fans in Mexico, right? And also, at the end of the day, if it is going to be catering to the soccer fans out here north of the border, can you really say that it's a balanced competition? Yeah. You can't.
No,
you can't.
Cesar, the same thing happens with the Mexican national team. They devalue their fans. They devalue their league. There's a reason the Mexican national team always plays in the U.S. There's a reason they want Leagues Cup in the U.S. And Cesar alluded to it. It's the dollars. They want to sell you on nostalgia. They want to get you those hard-earned dollars. People aren't going to pay that in Mexico. They don't want to see, with all due respect, Cincinnati come play against Puebla. They're not going to go pay for that. But you put that game in Cincinnati, Cincinnati's going to probably sell it out. And that's going to be in dollars.
Our researcher, Alex Peña, this is an interesting story, told producer Beto that he is going to make the trip to watch Necaxa face Orlando. His ticket was $3.
Oh.
I'll just let that sit there. $3.
It's Don Ramon's team, so that's all I gotta say.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Listen, as someone who grew up in the States, a huge fan of Rayados, the Interliga, listen, I was there every single year when it was in existence. But when it comes to winning the 2025 Leagues Cup here, the odds, obviously the favorites to be Inter Miami, followed by Columbus Crew, Cincinnati, and then Club America, LAFC, San Diego, before we see another Liga MX, Team Cruz Azul, and then we're going to see the Liga MX champions, Toluca, followed by Orlando and Seattle. I mean, is Inter Miami the clear favorite to take it all, Kasey?
Well, I mean, I think some of it will just depend on how serious they take the competition. And I think they took Club World Cup very serious. And because of that, they were the outlier that got out of their group stage, which was great for MLS. I just don't know if you can get the older souls in Inter Miami to roll back the years and put the effort in that they did for Club World Cup for this competition. I just don't know if you can do that. And I don't even know if it's fair to ask them to do that in what is basically from month to month, and then still say, hey, you still need to win a bunch of league games, get yourself great seating, and then bring home an MLS Cup. So yeah, I think it's a big ask, but I think if it hadn't have been for Club World Cup, I think they could be up there. I just think it's going to be too much with the exert of Club World Cup just last month.
That's interesting. Maybe if they were threatened with a one-game suspension, they would think about it. But this is a different, scenario. This actually counts for something.
The odds are just so stacked in the format in the favor of Major League Soccer teams. We've seen now in CONCACAF Champions Cup how difficult it is for both teams to win when they play away. There may be a slight favor in the top teams of when they come play in the United States or Canada, and maybe they get a favorable result in a draw, but you can see home field advantage being so crucial, so important. Kasey spoke about it in his earlier statement. So if all the games are in the United States And the Mexican teams not only have to play 1 game, but 3 games in the United States. And then the quarters, semis, and final in the United States, you could see this being tilted in favor of Major League Soccer. It's not a balanced competition. Now, what I will say, the sad thing about this is exactly what Liga MX, FMF, directivos, executives wanted to see. This is exactly where they wanted to be. They are willingly doing this. They are putting themselves in this position to lose and potentially sometimes be humiliated, as we've seen. We saw LAFC drop 7 on Mazatlan, or was it Juarez? I don't recall which one it was. Humiliated, and they don't care. And they don't care because it's the bottom dollar.
And it's true, and it's still very, very obvious as to why it's still being played in the States, but it's going to be played regardless. Cesar, we talked about Inter Miami being the favorites. Who are your favorites to take the Leagues Cup?
You know what? I'm going to stick with Club America. You know, we talked about
how
these games are. They most definitely do after what's been happening to them recently. But we've talked about these games we played in the U.S. Club America are going to have hosting privileges. And I put hosting privileges in quotes because obviously we know where those games are going to be at. Not in Mexico City, not in Mexico at all, but over here in the United States. That said, they're going to have to do less travel than other Liga MX teams through the semifinal round. And like you just mentioned there, there's going to be a side that's really, really eager to make a mark after failing to win the latest Liga MX title, after failing to win the Campeón de Campeones. And the Campeón de Campeones isn't the biggest deal in the Mexican soccer world, but that was still another trophy that Club America failed to win. And for Andre Jardine, you know, their manager who's won so much with this team already, this remains an elusive goal for him. And it's something that led to questions about his own future when he first stepped in 2023 in that Leagues Cup. After America had some issues, you know, our own colleagues over at ESPN Mexico were reporting that ownership had some pretty serious conversations with Jardine after that mess up in 2023 in the Leagues Cup. So I think that's going to be in the back of mind for him. And then we also have to give a quick shout out to Alejandro Zendejas. I mean, he's going to want to put on a show at home soil, won't he?
That's blasphemy. This team has 4 wins in the last 17 games, and this man's not saying Toluca, who are the reigning champions of Liga MX, and who've already beaten this team America twice. Blasphemy, Cesar.
I feel like Seb's making an appearance.
Exactly. Take off the mask.